talk because I'm amazing like that. I can... ADHD is like a superpower at times, Frank. I think you know this.
I can do numerous things at once and get nothing done at the same time.
That's the way it's supposed to be. I'm not even in the game right now. I don't know. Oh yeah, that's definitely going on the stream. Well, there you go. The stream is going to hear the gunshots. The YouTube one, not yours. I don't think you can hear that, right?
Negatory.
You don't want to hear it, because that'd be on the podcast. The podcast people don't want to hear the million gunshots going off in my eardrums with me not having a goddamn clue where they're all coming from. I'm skulking around on the ground trying... Ah!
Hey, that rhymed.
What? I made that rhyme?
Rhymed.
Well, you talk about something. You know, anything new in the world of Frankie?
Yeah. A lot of new things. A lot of new things every day. How are you? How's the weather? How's the weather up there?
The weather is great. The weather is so good, in fact, that I am shot in the leg. This is going to be over in 2 seconds, dude. I'm like limping away from a Russian right now. He's like going creaky beachy, reachy to me. It's not going well for me. Let's put it this way. I was very distracted, Frank. Come on. This is... How am I supposed to operate? Whoa. I apparently cannot hit this Russian team. Okay, I give up on life. Oh, there, that's the sound of his teeth exploding as the bullet went right through his face. That's the sound I was looking for.
I drank a big old fifth of fuck it all once, and it just kind of stuck.
You know what would probably work more is if we drank bleach, because you know, Trump and all that nonsense. It might heal my wounds.
Trump has nothing. Trump's never bothered me once.
Jackalope is asking me what the purpose of the stream is. Well, the purpose of the stream is actually a podcast, which my partner is recording, and I'm doing a portion of it that we put on YouTube. But right now, you can hear me shooting people and finishing my round, because I don't give an F today, everybody. That's the world we live in. I've had some relationship problems. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, people on YouTube side, you don't know about it. You know that.
He don't give an F about any S going on.
Yeah, I care about the wife that I may or may not end up with in the end.
Jackalope, herd.
He's a great subscriber of Brainy Beaver.
Jackalope Herdmaster. I love the name.
Oh yeah, he's good stuff.
Great name.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get shot right in the teeth. It's coming. I'm telling you right now. That's just everybody. Just be aware of what's about to happen. Okay? Teeth shot, Brainy Beaver style. Wait, maybe that's a different kind of. That might be a sexual maneuver, Frank.
No, the purpose of the stream or podcast is there is no purpose. It's like Seinfeld.
That's called way off topic. It's not even purposeful at all. In fact, if you don't find a purpose for it, we understand.
Yeah, if you can't figure out what this podcast was about by the end, we did our jobs.
That's basically actually probably a very true statement. Wow, that is a sweet gun. Who did I just kill? Oh my god.
My wife, hopefully.
Oh, you say that now. Wait until you're in my situation one day.
I hope not.
Well, exactly. Bunch of horse crap. Bunch of horse buckies.
It's about malarkey. Isn't malarkey slang for bullshit? Sir, yes, sir.
Yeah, I just killed, swear to God, I just killed one of the bosses.
Dude, be as smart ass as you can. Trust me, I live with the biggest.
Oh no, we don't jackalope. Yeah, we don't take personal.
Yeah, negative. I mean, if you offend me, you must have really said something horrible as fuck.
That's fair, right?
Yeah, right. So,
Man,
let's see.
go ahead.
You know,
No, talk, please talk.
no, I'm just glad to hear that things are starting back up again, like sports and such. You know, we're getting closer and closer to, you know, racing starting back up again, things starting back up again.
I can't wait until we have normality so that my wife can move on really fully. I'm just. Did it sound like I'm bitter in any way? I didn't think I was, but you know.
You're not, no, you're totally and utterly,
For the record, for the audience listening, she has not necessarily not given me the chance, but. Oh, one shot! That guy was dead! Right in the teeth. That's the sound of your skull exploding, sir. Honestly, I'm getting near the boss here, so I'm either gonna die or he died. It's gonna happen quick, boy.
I almost want to figure out how to say that name. Haywood did Jablock.
Yeah, no, I know. F him in his new name. He changes it all the time, and I hate that one. I love you, though, buddy.
I don't know how to. Can I get like a what do they call that like phrasing in the quotations on how you say a word? What do they call that? Like for some reason.
Messed up really bad just now. You keep talking. You keep talking. We're podcasting, man. I just thought I'd be dead by now, honestly, because I don't normally make it this far.
No, I asked a question. That's all.
What was the question? Sorry, I was getting shot in the face. This is gonna end, I promise. Don't worry. I'm not here forever. Question me, sir. I know you're finding this very aggravating. I understand.
No, like when like in the dictionary, I got a word, and the next to the word is in quotations on how you say such said word.
Oh yeah, it's got the. You could break his down like that.
What do you call that?
Oh, abbreviating? Abbreviating it?
No, that's an abbreviation.
Well, okay, but.
Yeah. What's up? What's up, Haywood? We're trying to figure out how you say your last name. Get the last name. How to pronounce that. You can put it in phonetic. That's it. It's called phonetic.
Yeah, that's right. You're right.
Yeah.
That's when they had the Disneyland like ride where like was it ET would say your name, so they have to enter it like phonetically. Like they don't spell it, they enter it into the machine the way the computer can recognize to say it back.
It's like apparently to my phonetic last name has a G in it, which is funny.
Oh, that's funny.
It's like Ling, but apparently it's Ling and then which I don't know how that. It's like Ling.
Man, I should have been dead by now, that's for sure. My one leg is so effed up. If I get shot in it, I'm pretty much toast.
And the quarterback is toast.
Oh, because he took out his knee. That makes sense. Oh, I did kill him. Good.
And it seems like the police have themselves an RV.
I'm just gonna see if he has any meds, and I can keep this train alive. You can only go so long. My leg's so damaged. Like if this is a real match, I'd be like, I gotta get out of here. Like I've healed it a bunch, but you can only do that so much.
What game you playing?
This is Tarkov.
Never heard of it.
Escape from Tarkov.
Okay. Right on. Um,
Uh, it's a fun game. It's well, Unirock's the one that plays it a lot, right? Takes a better body armor off a guy. Like you down people, you take their armor, all that kind of shit, right? You know, like the way the game works is there'll be like when you're out, there'll be like PMC players, which are actually like human players, and there'll be like computerized players too. So there's it ends up being a fun little yeah, it ends up being a fun kind. There's keys you get off people, and then open lock safes and things throughout the map. And but yeah, like you'll play against people, and you'll be like, oh, it's a scav, and you're playing with friends, and everybody assaults the scav. But then you'll play against, you'll be playing, and you'll be like, no, that's a PMC, and you're fighting a human, just the way that they interact with you a little bit differently, and there's no way to tell at distance. It's just the way they move. And when you're playing against a player, you're far more terrified, because they're so much better than any AI. Even though the AI in this game is pretty brutal. There's so many dead bodies out here I'm looting. It's been just like a complete chaos.
Haywood's got to play some more Halo so he can direct you. Halo's the shit, dude. Me and Phoenix, we played the first Halo in the Master Chief Edition, where it's crazy where you can switch back and forth from the original.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you can do that on the PC when they came out with recently.
Right on. Yeah, but dude, like Halo is just like, I mean, it still holds up almost 20 years later.
Well, as a game, yeah, it was fun when I was replaying it. It was fun to play again too, and yeah, all of it was great.
Oh yeah, I mean, a buddy of mine had like an 8-port router, and I would make up like 20, 30, 50, 70 foot long, patch cables, and we would all bring our TVs and systems over to my buddy's house. You know what I mean? And people would be in like, the living room, the basement, bathrooms, fucking, and shit, like on 19-inch TVs, and everybody would be, in eight player matches and shit. It was awesome. It was like our own network that we would set up, before the internet was like really capable of even handling that type of
many dead bodies down here. I turned on a mode that's called Scav War, so the actual, because I'm offline mode right now, so there's not as much going on, so it makes it so all the computer players fight each other too, like they're all having this own little Scav War. But I'm almost about to turn this off anyways, because I'd have to find my way out of the map, and I just came in to murder. I mean, honestly, I don't really care to... I don't care to go find my exit. Ugh. I just really wanted to murder people. I feel really good making even if they're digital. Well, only if they're digital, actually. I guess I should rephrase that as I was going to say. I love picking other people in, but only if they're digital. Otherwise, it's getting scary here, boy. Man, this is a sweet gun I pulled off that body.
Fuck yeah.
There's ammo cases in here and stuff. There'll be a chest around here or something too. Just want to see if I can get that chest. I've never gotten this key off of whoever it is I murdered. So Frank, you been working or are you not working?
Yeah, I did 70 hours last week.
You're gonna be the only one with money left after coronavirus.
Yeah, my wife and I are both essential workers. We got lucky.
I am too, but it doesn't mean that I got a lot of shit going down.
Like, we're
nobody has
both
any
kind
money,
of...
right, all of a sudden, so nobody's just getting elective stuff done. It's all emergencies only, really, right? All the extra spending went downhill pretty quick.
Yeah, but...
People that had projects they were planning for the spring, and all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, no, good time for that.
And, dude, in the supermarkets, they change their hours from, say it would be, from, 6 to midnight or whatever. now it's like 7 to 8. So people are like lining up out the door.
Well, and they're only allowed, I don't know about where you live, but they're only allowed so many people inside the building at any time.
Oh yeah, they're clicking people in. I think it's like 50 people are allowed in at one time. But that's not including the workers or something. Well, we can't because, you know, and like every single time I gotta walk out to my truck to get something and then walk back in, you know, I'm cutting in front of like 50, 60 people and they're all like, hey, what about it? What? It's like, do you not see these tools around my waist? Do you not
That's
see
so
these bulbs?
They get all pissy with you, and as you go up to go do your work, that's hilarious, actually. And honestly, what do people think? Are they stupid? Like, come on. It's
yeah, just go to layoffTopicRadio.com, Jackalope. Yeah.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
You can hear the podcast.
I don't want to succeed. I don't want to succeed in any way. Why would I want to do that? He's like, well, you're doing it right now by playing video games, so you should be podcasting. Sir, I was, yeah, you're right. There's so many dead people here. I just want to get shot in the face. Can somebody please give me a swift end?
I would just stay up that close. If I got an hour or so of sleep before work, I think I would be more just dead tired than if I were just to stay up, because you get that second wind, you know? After you push through that second wind, you're ready to go, but you get that hour and a half sleep, you're just tired forever.
Well, I'm just going to walk headlong into the bushes here and see if I can get shot in the face.
Oh, wait, he did write his name up. No,
I gotta even turn this down because it's going to be awfully annoying for the stream side thing here. I'm going to turn the Tarkov noises down. Way down. There we go. There you go, everybody. Everybody doesn't have to hear Tarkov. There you go, Frank. I can even hear you better now. So let's you know. So you sound tired, Frank. You sound like you probably should have been sleeping and not podcasting. That's what you sound like.
I'm not tired at all.
Fucking liar. I'm just kidding.
I slept all day. And then
that'd be nice. I had kids all day.
And then I had three emergency calls yesterday. 2 at the same store. You know, because I was there. I did what I had to do. I left. Came all the way home. Drove into my front. Yeah, drove into the driveway. Got another emergency call to the same fucking store because the manager forgot that he needed something done that he just got his ass chewed out for him not having me do over the last 2 months. 2 months. 2 months they had to tell me that they needed to get it fixed, and he figures it out just then that he needs me to. I'm just like, I was just there, jerk. Like, not that it takes me fucking an hour to get there in the first fuck place. No, it's like I drove 4 hours yesterday just to do 2 things that took me, I don't know, a total of 25 minutes tops. It's so annoying.
Man, outskirts is way the hell over there. I need a go-kart to get there on this map. Up your nose, Tarkov.
For the rubber hose.
I love rubber hoses.
Fuck yeah, dude. Rubber hose.
My mommy used to say up your nose with a rubber hose. Ah, those were the days. Before I had relationship issues. Or at least, like, well, before and after I had some, you know how it's like this. There's been relationship issues.
Yeah, I saw that at Home Depot. Everybody's standing outside waiting to be clicked in. As soon as somebody left, somebody was allowed in. But
yeah,
Lowe's should have went to Lowe's, man. Lowe's don't care. Lowe's don't give a fuck. Lowe's is like the honey badger. Lowe's don't give a fuck.
They'll shut you down here. Yeah, they'll shut you down if you don't give a fuck here. Yeah. True story, man. True dat. They will. They'll shut you right down. They'll go, you don't need to be operating here. We'll give you a nice fine and we'll shut you down for a little bit. You can think about what you've done. That's no joke. I was at the zoo with my kids today, and there's like spray painted like directions of traffic flow along the along the ground, like, you know, like you got to go this way through this path and that way through that path. You can't go back. It made some things really long to get to. Just so far to go to some things. You had to, like, if you missed like the foxes, you had to loop all the way back around. It was just ghetto. Such is life now.
And you can't miss the foxes.
Hey. That little girl was promised foxes, damn it.
She was promised foxes.
She wasn't promised anything. She was promised fluffy animals. That's all I do when I go to the zoo. Half the animals are not even... You know how zoos are. Half the animals aren't there. Half the animals are... Then they're hiding. Half the animals are sleeping. You know, every once in a while you come across, like you know, like a... Hey, look at that one's right in front. Hey, hi, Mr. Tiger. What do you mean? The rest of the time it's like, where's the polar bears? Oh, there's one poking its eyeball out right there. You know? You pay $50 to go look at exhibits that are empty half the time. It's ridiculous.
Then the tiger's like, why does everybody look identical almost with those masks on?
We're not wearing masks. We got solo cases. We don't have mask mandatoriness or anything here.
No, we do.
Well, I mean, you got a ton of cases where you live. We don't have shit. We don't have shit.
Even my Chinese place was like really busy today, and that's very
Chinese people, they're the start of it all. I tell ya. Just kidding. I'm kidding. The fucking SGW team's coming.
I know. It was their government, not them. Yeah, we have the Cape May Zoo. It's free. You can choose to donate charitably if you so choose.
It says outskirts right there that I can go through there. Xville 05, outskirts. Oh, am I supposed to open the door? Oh, it's right here.
We also have an aquarium near us where you can buy like a season pass, and I'm like, once you've been to the aquarium, it's like, do you really need to go back again for another 10 years? It's an aquarium. But I think an aquarium is better than a zoo because it's almost like they can't hide from you. It's an aquarium. They don't even know you're there to begin with.
Well, apparently I'm at the outskirts where it says to go, and I just apparently can't leave that way. So,
What?
I don't know. I'm in Tarkov. I just thought I'd try to get out, you know, but.
Right on.
That's so stupid, though. It says outskirts. I don't understand what the problem is then. Why I can't.
I'm so tired of working with a mask on. It's driving me nuts.
I mean, I wonder what it would be like to work with a mask on.
It sucks. But her sister gets really good masks from her work, you know. The yellow ones that just kind of just wrap around your ear real quick. They're real nice.
Yeah.
I've been chewing a lot of gum because, you know, I don't want to smell my breath all freaking day. Ugh. Nasty coffee cigarette breath. Yummy.
Huh.
I've been eating a lot less lately, I noticed. I'm just not hungry anymore. I don't know if that's with the mask or what.
Welcome to my world of not being hungry. I don't even eat anymore, basically.
And if it wasn't for other people, you know, saying, "Did you eat yet?" or "Did you do this?" or "Do you want to eat?" whatever, I would never eat. I would live off of muffins and Starburst. Ooh, speaking of Starburst, I have a whole sleeve of just pinks. Hell yeah.
That's so stupid. It shows me on this map. It shows me on this map where the scav house is. And then apparently... That's messed up.
San Diego's, dude, yeah, what was it? Isn't the aquarium there? San Diego Aquarium too, right? Isn't that where there's a not the Shamu, but SeaWorld? Isn't there a SeaWorld in San Diego? Anyway, when I went out to California, like, it was like the worst vacation I ever took. It was like, right after we graduated high school, right? Me and two friends of mine, we went out there. One buddy of mine, he grew up out there in South Beach. So we started in San Francisco, and we drove all the way down to Monterey. Then we drove all the way down to Tijuana, and then back up to Monterey. And we were supposed to stop at all these different places each day at his friends' houses that he apparently had all set up, And every single person we went to, they had no idea we were showing up. They weren't happy to see him, like he said they would be.
That's funny.
We spent a day in 29 Palms, which is just it's just hell. A marine base out in the middle of the freaking desert sucked. And they don't have air conditioners out there. They have these things called swamp fans. It's basically just a fan where you pour water in the bottom of it.
So I think I figured out that I was actually over at Eastgate when I thought I was at Outskirts, which is why I couldn't... Well, it says survived, but that's not true because I got left behind. The way Tarkov works is you have to escape. It's called Escape from Tarkov. So, anyways, that is over. Finally, Jesus Christ.
It sounds like a Siberian gulag.
Basically, it's like supposed to be like everything's always Russia post-apocalypse. So it's supposed to be, I think, when you're like the remaining mercenaries that are alive in this, war-torn countryside kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you're kind of just fighting for, you're fighting for your golden ticket. You want to go see, how chocolate's made or something. You know what I mean?
It's like a Willy Wonka thing.
You know what I mean here. You're it's all about looting and stuff like that. You go in, you gear up, you got to but everything counts. Like if you got big chest plate armor on and somebody's shooting bullets at you that have no armor piercing, they got to put a lot of bullets into your chest piece before they go through it because they got to wear it out, right? But and it's the same with you to them. Like everything has a muzzle velocity. The guns all have ergonomic levels. Like everything matters. Every single thing matters. The ammo you're using, the armor you're shooting at. If you bean somebody in the head and you hit their helmet, depending on the helmet they have, the armor piercing rounds you have, you may or may not kill them. You might just ricochet off their helmet. You'll cause damage to their helmet, which then they have to repair after the round if they survive and the helmet gets out and everything. They'll have to repair it. It's all that stuff. So it's a very realistic game.
Right on.
It's pretty cool. Like if you break your legs, you gotta, if you break your legs, you gotta splint them. And if you can bleed to death just by not bringing enough band-aids and you bleed out. Like you're like, anybody got any band-aids? They're like, sorry. You're like, bye.
I can still fight, crying. I still fight.
I finished a round where I was out of water and energy, so I was starving and dehydrating to death, and I was running through the map trying to get to my exit, and I was like patching my legs up because what happens when you're dehydrated is all your health goes down simultaneously at the same time, like health and energy and everything. It all starts falling, and I was like patching my legs up, and I was like letting my arms go black, so I couldn't even use my gun and stuff anymore. I'm like, run, you can make it. So I made it out of that round. I got all the gear out and everything.
I can make it. I can make it.
Say no, so whoa. Sorry, I was just singing.
So we went to Tijuana. We parked, walked around the block, went back to the car, and left. Spent the next 3 hours at the border trying to get back into California, and then we
I wouldn't
went
even
to.
cross that border. No offense to Mexico. That border sucks.
It's a shithole.
It's
So
an absolute, yeah, absolutely. You see me walking away, but I can still hear you. What were you gonna say?
so
Over here, Frank. Keep talking.
we waited in line for an hour for this place to open, and my one buddy Stewie, he didn't have any money for it. Right, I had enough money for me and half of his ticket, and then Mike, which was, which was the three of us that went. Mike had plenty of money because he's one of those type of people that just saves every dime that he gets. You know, he's a very chintzy type of person. So he was going to pay for the other half of his ticket, right? And that's what we had set up. So we waited for an hour.
Magic.
Waited for an hour. We get up to the booth where you pay, right? And
I'm listening.
I know I can't I can't talk over that. It's too loud.
What do you mean? I pushed my bike back and everything. It's like 4 feet away.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Keep going, sir. Here, I'll walk over here and smoke my bong in peace. You keep talking. Mike, Frank, you just gotta move your lips. You gotta keep going, bro.
I don't know. I keep drawing myself. So basically, we went to go pay, and then Mike looked at the prices. He's like, "Oh, I have bills I need to pay," so he just straight up walked away. When we're like, "The fuck?"
The prices for what, though? Sorry, I missed that part.
To get into the aquarium.
Fuck aquariums. Just kidding.
Well, yeah, but we were in San Diego, so.
Fuck their aquariums. The only thing they're good for is Star Trek episodes, God damn it. Isn't that the fucking aquarium they pulled the humpback whales out of? Star Trek, like one of the Star Trek movies where they like went back in time?
That Star Trek movie, I think, wasn't that Star Trek 3?
It was like Star Trek Return Home or something like that. Return Home or Star Trek. There's so many goddamn old Star Treks, though.
No. But anyway, that Star Trek movie you're talking about is the first movie I remember seeing as a child. The only reason I remember it is probably because of the dumb whale.
Frank, did you see Invader Vibe?
What?
Did you see Invader Vibe?
Did I see a what?
You don't know what I'm talking about then, so good. So you haven't seen my latest video then, have you? You probably missed out, just so you know. No, not just because it's me, because I think you've missed out on something hilarious.
So, your latest video or your latest stream?
Yeah. Oh, it's video. So anyways, here, listen to this. Ahem. Order, so you can hear this, please. Okay, so imagine you're watching Twitch and here, I'll show it on the screen for you because I guess we are on a YouTube channel here, so give me 10 seconds, everybody.
Yeah.
Frank, you're going to disappear, and some little thoughty is going to jump in your spot, okay?
All right.
You get what I'm saying. There it is. Boom. Ready? You ready? Right? Boom. Look at all that sexiness. I mean, she is of age, so I can say that.
Oh, right on. Okay.
So now you're watching Twitch. You're watching Twitch, just innocently watching Twitch, and this shit comes out.
It doesn't really matter how much money
you I did see this, by the way. Yeah.
So you've seen this dirty, dumb, skank mother. I'm just kidding. I don't know anything about her being a skank, but she says something about it over here. Have you seen the whole thing?
I believe so, but keep
Because
going.
I don't.
Though.
By the way, the skank. I don't actually believe anybody's a skank. They can do what they
I
want
don't
with their
hear her
I think that she
talking
knows damn well what she's doing by throwing her thighs out there like that.
Of course she does, that little whore.
But hey, listen, Frank, you cannot talk like that, sir. We are on the internet. You have to be very sure of the words you're saying. We do not listen. Listen, Frank, shut up. I'm gonna fix this for you, okay? We on Way Off Topic Radio do not discriminate against the women or the female gender. I will also call you whatever pronoun you want me to. Fucking now that Frank is melting.
Just because I dress this way does not make me a police officer.
Well, that's a bit of a different situation, isn't it? I am not. Okay, the only thing I will ever say about that subject is I am not a believer that the way you dress should definitely like line you up for any sort of assault or verbal assault or anything of the sort. However, what I will say is that you will attract the wrong kind of attention. That's all. You're not. You know what? The guy that really is important is the one that doesn't care how tight, how high up your booty shorts go. That's the reality. He's going to be the one that thinks you're good looking with the clothes on. So now that we've gotten that our complete loving sharing SJW moment out of the way, we can continue with this absolute train wreck. Because remember, you may have seen this, but the audience may not have heard or seen this.
That's really the thing. Because I'm not asking you for a large
and they still can't hear. I can't hear.
Oh, they can hear. You can't hear. Here, I'll fix that.
If it cost $20 to sub, $20 is quite a bit.
Well, not on your side, they couldn't.
$20 is you can get a full meal for $20, and the difference of $20.
You can hear it now, right?
No, I remember the whole thing. I can't believe she said.
Oh, okay, sorry. Well, I'm gonna turn it up so that the audience can definitely hear on your side. So here.
That's really the thing, because I'm not asking you for a large financial contribution. If it cost $20 to sub, $20 is quite a bit of money. $20 is you can get a full meal for $20, and the difference of $20 and eating a meal is in that $20. Like, that's where it is. But a sub is $5 at maximum. In whatever your currency is, it's maybe $10.
Maybe only half of a lot of money. Listen, $20, Frank. Frank, $20 is a lot of money. That's a lot of money, but you know what? I'm only asking for $5, a quarter of a lot of money, or $10 at most, which is half of a lot of money. So, but the $20 is a lot of money. What?
So it's kind of a lot of money.
One of the comments that does go by there is it said, imagine telling somebody else. Oh, I thought I saw the word beaver. I was like, how did I get in there? It said, imagine telling somebody else how much, what did it say? It said, imagine telling somebody else what $5 is worth or what $20 is worth or something like that. Or like, you know what I mean? How much money is, like, because money has a different value to everybody depending on your own unique financial situation. There's like, if you're loaded, if you're making $500 a day as like a high priced lawyer and you get a speeding ticket on the way home, it's basically a tax to drive fast.
Wait, say that again.
I'm saying if you're making like $500 a day or $600 a day, like a high priced lawyer or something like that, you're getting $700, $1,000 a day or something, like somebody makes good money, and you get a speeding ticket on the way home. It's essentially a tax to drive fast because it's not enough to affect your life that greatly at that point.
Right.
Whereas you take somebody that, like my province, for instance, where I live, has fines on the roads that are like 200 to 300% of what other provinces have. And like, it can be, now remember that American money and Canadian money don't translate, and fines in America are an absolute joke compared to the price of fines in Canada, always have been. So honestly, you see things like, oh, $35 and she couldn't pay her fines and got arrested. I'm like, $35 fucking dollars and the bitch couldn't pay her fines? Like, I've never seen stories like that in Canada because it's different money value, right? Like, fines here are higher, but people have a lot more government assistance. So I don't know how to place it, but all I'm getting at is it's like, shit, you can get like a 20 over and it's like $400 goddamn dollars. Like $400 freaking dollars, which even in American is like 270 something or almost $300.
And you get points.
And they take your points, and your insurance goes up, and like all of it. So when you layer it down, it's like, holy shit, it costs you like $1,000 over 2 years or something like that. Like, and here in my province, if you get 2 tickets, and I mean, Frank, I mean any 2 tickets. I got a seatbelt ticket and a turning right in the wrong spot. I was new to the province. My possibly future still wife, who knows, was visiting me at the time, very early in our relationship, and took a right at the wrong spot, and the guy just points at you and points at the side, and she's like, "What'd you do?" I'm like, probably wasn't allowed to turn there. I was new to the city as well, but so I got a right-hand turn in the wrong spot and a seatbelt ticket, and you get this letter in the mail saying they're going to revoke your license unless you go take a driving course. So then you have to pay for that. You have to pay for, like, it's any 2 tickets in a 2-year span. Any 2 tickets. It doesn't matter. So here you are in this driving course that you had to take a day off work during a weekday. So you now have to take the hit of taking the day. You had to pay the fine, pay the insurance, pay the hit of taking the day off of work, or it might have been 2 days. And then go and then pay for that course, which was also $350, $400. So by the time you paid everything and took your day off work, it cost you thousands of dollars to go fucking deal with this. Like, I'm so sorry I didn't have my seatbelt on, which I was putting my seatbelt on sometimes. And yes, I know this is not the correct way to use a seatbelt. Sometimes I get in my vehicle and I drive for just a moment before I go, holy shit, I'm not strapped into this bitch. And I put my fucking seatbelt on and other times I get in and my seatbelt's on before I start rolling. But I got a lot, especially with the ADHD, I got a lot going on. There's a lot of cylinders firing, but I wear my seatbelt. I genuinely don't want to go through the fucking glass if I get in a car accident. Like, yeah. So the thing is, I was literally like rolling onto the on-ramp to a freeway, and you know what would happen typically is as I went around that on-ramp, I would have went, holy shit, I'm not wearing my seatbelt, just knowing myself. And there's where the cop was. She was waiting right on the on-ramp, pointed at me and pushed over. But that's neither here nor there. I didn't have my seatbelt on. So either way, but still, you have to, by the time you deal with this, it's like thousands of bucks and like all that time. And then my wife and I remember one time we're driving through Ontario and we saw a ticket, or maybe we were watching a commercial, and it was like, if you get caught speeding at this speed, you could get a fine that's not, like, it was like $52 or something like that, and like a fine for that here would be hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So we just started laughing our asses off together at the same time. It was one of those unique moments.
Well, here now, seatbelt tickets come. No, not seatbelt. Cell phone tickets compound. So if you get your second cell phone ticket, it counts as 4, and then your third counts as 8, and then your fourth counts as 16.
They will literally just take your car here now. Like, you'll get it back, but they will impound your car on you now if they catch you using your cell phone.
Well, like. So, but
I mean, they don't have a lot of people being pulled over for cell phones. I mean, I technically break the law by bringing my phone up, like swiping my finger on it, which if I have my Bluetooth in my ear, which I do use to drive because it's way easier than trying to hold a fucking phone up and talk, especially when it's illegal. And texting while driving does suck. Honestly, I used to do it when it was legal. It was hard enough to do then, and then it became illegal, and you had to hide the fact that you were texting while driving. And honestly, I slowly started to comply to the fact that, honestly, texting while driving is ridiculous. You drive like a fucking drunk. It's not easy to do. At that point, just press down the fucking audio button and send them an audio clip. Hey, buddy, I'm fucking driving. I'll call you in fucking 30 minutes. Like, it makes no sense to try. And then you're doing it one-handed and holding it down here because it's illegal. And I know you know what I'm talking about, Frank, because you're a service tech, and your fucking phone goes off nonstop all goddamn day. And I will be honest with you, if I pulled my vehicle over every single time just to check to see what the message I got was even, and just give it a quick scan, I would never even get where I'm going. Like, the people that say, oh, just pull over, you have no idea how many phone calls I could get in a day sometimes. There were days where I was on the roof and I remember my phone ringing again, and I was like like I just want to just to fucking launch that bitch from the roof because here you are trying to get your day done so you can go home, and you're on the 60th goddamn phone call or text message that day about different shit happening.
Yep.
And then your boss calls you at 3:30 and says, "Hey man, I know you've been busy all day, but can you rush over to this other place and get this done in 2 hours when it should really take like 7 or 5?" You know, and next thing you know, you're throwing everything in the back of the van and you're tearing over there to get it done so you can go have a family meal still even at the end of the day. And then all of a sudden you're catching shit the next day because your van's filthy. Welcome to being a journeyman.
Yep, dude. Fucking this one guy I worked for. He said that I would get my health insurance within 90 days, right? 90 days comes, and he goes, "Oh, I didn't tell you that. I said 180 days." I'm like, "All right, fine, fuck you, dude."
That's half a
right?
year.
Exactly, right? It's bullshit.
Fucking what company operates like that? That's ridiculous.
Well, but then get this shit, right? So then, of course, like 2 weeks later, I get food poisoning, right?
Yeah.
And all that money I had to shell out of pocket, right? It was something like $700-800 for the tests and the meds and everything else. So, I get somewhat better enough to go back to work. It's a Friday, and I left my meds and I think a pair of jeans and my shit pair of boots when you got to work out in the mud and all that shit, and I left it in the van, right? I come back Monday and none of my shit's in the van. And I'm like, where's all my shit? Oh, you're not supposed to leave your personal belongings in the van over the weekend.
What world is it not your van? Was it not your service van? I've always been allowed to take mine home with me. Mine go in my driveway typically if I work at a company.
This company wasn't service. It wasn't. He was transitioning.
Depending on the company, yeah. Some companies have it where you drive in and then drop the van off. But it sucks because no matter what, your day ends up sucking because they still want you on site for 8 hours, but then you have to return the fucking van at the end of the day.
It's such a pain in the ass, especially when you're working like a block away from your house.
And people wonder why sometimes if they the technician shows up to fix your air conditioner or fix your electrical and you give him a hard time why he's not the most pleasant person in the world or kind of thing. It's because everybody's got to deal with shit at work, and sometimes we have to deal with we're uncomfortable, we're hot, we're sweaty, we're dealing with broken crap. So I mean, let's face it, when I go to a place, it's not cool because why am I there? I'm there because the goddamn air conditioner's broke. So it's either hot and stinky where I am, hot and stinky on the roof where I got to work, hot and stinky. And then just about the time I get that thing turned on, I bask in its glory as you go, as the cold air hits you for a second, you're like, right, here's your bill. I'm going to go get in my van. And God, I hope my van has air conditioning is all you think when you start working at a new company.
Yeah, and they never worked. But
they do here. I don't
know. I mean, I can count on one hand the amount of companies I worked at where the van they gave me, the air conditioner actually fucking worked.
You know what? I've had vehicles, I think in vehicle... Okay, so here's something I'm going to teach you about Canada versus America. The vehicles in Canada are in better shape than most of the vehicles in America. Because, per capita, I mean vehicle for vehicle, not number, because there's 300-something million Americans, right? But I mean, but per capita, just the average vehicle on the road is in better shape than the average American vehicle. And this isn't a knock on the American people so much as a reality of our two systems. America, it's pretty much a known fact in North America that you can almost keep a car together with duct tape and wire. In America, as long as it hasn't literally disintegrated, it can stay on the road for almost ever.
Well, yeah,
and
prove that.
No, and in Canada, that bitch is going to be taken off the road one day in a safety check or something like that, or it won't pass. You could just be randomly a cop could pull you over and he could just be like, "Holy shit." And he can just write you up for having a vehicle that's they have to check it. So you might have to, if you knew a guy, you could grease a palm. But let's face it, a lot of places aren't going to do that. They're just going to be like, well, sorry, especially if the cops sent you there. But I don't know if it's the
Over-
police. I don't know if it's the police, but I'm sure they can. But all I know is regulation-wise, they will. Okay, like let's put it this way: if you sell a vehicle to somebody else in like Ontario, the province I was from, it needs to be safetied.
Okay.
So you can't even sell a vehicle to another person without safetying it. If you move to another province, just across a border, I could go to where my parents live 4 hours away, but it's across a provincial border. I have to re-safety my vehicle for Ontario, at which point they will catch anything that makes it unsafe. So you can't move between provinces, and you can't sell the vehicle without safetying it. So you can drive a shitbox around, but you will be the sole owner of that shitbox forever. You will not be trading that shitbox to somebody else.
So there is no as is.
You can sell it as is, but he's now responsible for making sure that that as is piece of shit can even go on the road. So what most people in Canada will do is if you're seriously going to buy a car, you'll say, hey, listen, I'll pay for it. You can drive it there or whatever, but I'd like to book an appointment with a mechanic, like, a neutral mechanic that I know, somebody that I trust, not your mechanic. And, I want to get him just to take a look, put it up on the hoist, and see what he thinks of it or whatever, get an opinion. And then the mechanic will say, oh, yeah, vehicle's in good shape and, it passes safety, no problem or whatever. Or, a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll safety the vehicle knowing that nobody's going to want a vehicle that doesn't have a safety here. So what they'll do is they'll pay the whatever it costs, $100 to get it safetied or whatever. And then they have the safety paperwork. And the safety paperwork is good for 90 days or 100 and something days from the safety for resale. So you can sell it to somebody and sell with the car. You can sell the safety paperwork that shows that the car is safetyable in that province. Boom. Here's your paperwork to go get the car registered.
So if you don't sell it within 180 days, you got to re-safety it?
Yep. Because who knows what happened to the car? It's half a year. Car might be unsafe.
And that's totally different than an inspection?
Well, but we don't have the same kind of. I mean, your car can be ordered for an inspection, which is essentially a safety inspection, so it's the same fucking thing. But we don't have like. Do you guys have just like regulated interval inspections? I don't think you do, unless you get like nabbed by like a eco sensor or something for your exhaust or something, right?
Yeah, it's. I mean, if it's a new car, it's. Let's see, it's 4 years for a new car.
So then it has to be what, inspected?
Yeah.
Then how do you have shit boxes on the road?
Because people drive with expired inspection stickers, or they go into Philly and they pay $100 for Pennsylvania.
I mean, yeah, you could pay a guy to do a bunk inspection. That's never going to change, right? I mean, it doesn't matter what country you're in.
You can't do that. You used to be able to do that. You can't do that anymore. Like they can't do a bunk inspection anymore because they have to plug their inspection unit into the computer of your car.
Yeah, but that doesn't tell them if there's, if the window wipers don't work and stuff like that.
No, that's true. It doesn't. It's more for
I mean, shit,
emissions.
man. If you have mirrors, okay, get this. This is technically, and this is where it comes to not going to a dealership. You go to a mom and pop shop because they're gonna overlook this small detail. Like, technically, if you have a vehicle that has power mirrors and the power mirror part has broken and you just adjust them by hand, that wouldn't pass inspection. Because your vehicle is spec'd to have power mirrors. Those mirrors are not intended to be moved by hand. And I'm like, well, what about all the vehicles that have mirrors that can be moved by hand? Well, they're designed for it. They're at spec by having mirrors that can be moved by hand. It's the same fucking thing. Click, 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 click. Jesus Christ. Do they stay in spot? That's what the question should be. If you adjust them, do they stay where they fucking go? But that's not the question. The question is, are they at spec? Well, no, they don't work. They're supposed to be working. The mirrors don't work. You have unworking mirrors. See? It's black and white. But if you go to a mom and pop shop, he's just going to go like set the mirror, and as long as it doesn't go plump and like head for the floor, if he can adjust it and sit there and, they don't flop around, he's just going to fucking, he's not going to hold you up for that. But the dealership will, because they'll be like, oh, $500 a mirror. Fucking $500 a mirror, dude. Okay, get this. I changed the spring things on the back of the Kia for my wife before she took the car to It sucks. But anyways, and what was it? It was $200 a piece from the Kia dealership, or $75 for two for the aftermarkets. Holy shit! Like,
But
oh my god,
if you want to keep the warranty all nice and proper,
the warranty's done. They can fucking suck my. Anyways, YouTube doesn't like that talk. Gotta keep it PG in here, up in this stellar his how here with these awesome. You see my awesome window set? In fact, get out of my window, Frank. I just want to see the prettiness of me hanging out in front of the. Just take Frank and hide him. Hi, Frank. Hello. Wait, we should talk about Invader Vi. They never got to hear the rest of her smugness.
Yeah, we need to finish this.
It was only like 40 minutes ago, 20 something. Who knows?
I just want to say I would definitely play Drunk and Hide the Pickle with her. Go ahead.
She's of age. You can say that. And truth be told, yeah. Look at her. She's cute. Yeah. And her what is it? Twitter handle is like Tyrannosaurus Rex, and it's like a crotch shot.
No, is it really?
Yeah, it is. Hold on, I'll bring it up. Let me look at it. Twitter. I think it was Twitter. Tyrannosaurus Rex. And Google will find it.
By the way, good night, Haywood.
Twitter Invader. Is that on the YouTube? Invader. Hi, good night. Sorry, I wasn't reading chats. My bad. Yeah, Tyrannosaurus Rex.
That's hysterical.
Man, dude, check it out. Here. Look at. That is her. That's it right there. See?
That's awesome.
And it's at Invader Vi, but it's Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Is she pulling her shirt down so she doesn't reveal everything?
I mean, I won't lie. I find that gap right there to be the most attractive thing in the world for some reason. Are
you kidding, dude? Hell yeah.
It's weird though. It's not like, yeah, okay, we're obviously not interested in well, I mean, we're not interested in penises. I'm not saying that people can't.
The best thing is when they're wearing a sundress and you can see that, like, a little bit of sun peeking through that little.
Yeah, and I'm trying not to be a pervert here. So all I'm saying is that, yeah, like, obviously the fact that they don't have a penis is appealing. But it has nothing to do with that. For some reason, this, like, the fact that there's this little thigh gap in there, it's so sexy. Anyways,
yeah, it is.
It's whatever. But now that I've totally ostracized any female audience at all, and you know, in good time.
It's all good.
I don't know. Do we have a female audience? I doubt it. Brady, YouTube in general and podcasts, I think, is primarily male.
Yeah, I don't think so. So, yeah.
Maybe not in podcast listening. That's probably different. YouTube has got a lot of men watching it. Let's put it that way.
So, continue with the clip, sir.
No, I don't want to. I want to talk now. I'm just kidding. Okay.
To watch Twitch.
Okay, we're going to dial her back, though, because it was so long
Because
ago.
I'm not asking you for a large financial contribution. If it cost $20 to sub, $20 is quite a bit of money. $20 is you can get a full meal for $20. And the difference of $20 and eating a meal is in that $20. Like, that's where it is. But a sub is $5. At maximum, in whatever your currency is, it's maybe $10. And it doesn't matter how broke you are. If you have time to watch Twitch, you have $10, truly. If you don't have $10, you probably don't have time to watch Twitch because you should be working. You should be trying to earn money. It's not a ton. It's not like a ton of money. So being like, I'm broke, I can't afford to sub, that doesn't really
It gets so much worse.
What you mean to say
I got to pause it here for just 1 second. Like, what's funny about this is that, like, Frank knows, because Frank's seen it, apparently. So Frank knows. Like, you're, like, blown away at this point. And anybody listening is probably like, holy shit. She actually said that. And then, okay, so, and then the thing that's crazy is, like, we're about a third of the way through right now. And I remember pausing it and being absolutely floored at what this bitch had just said. And then I press play again, right? What were you gonna say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I said it gets so much worse. It,
Oh
like,
my god, it gets so much worse than what was already said. You're like, how could this even get any worse? And it's just like holy shit, nuke your own position again.
it's like hold your trigger warning. Like hold your
Hold
trigger.
yeah. Just hold your level of offense until you hear everything she has to say, and then you can really just feel it surge.
Yeah.
Because it's crazy. Oh my god. Because she just takes out the, well, let them hear.
I'm so irresponsible with my money, I can't support the entertainment that I enjoy. That's what that is. I'm unemployed, so basically all my money goes to bills and food, or I would support you. Yeah. It's $5. It's really, like, no one's gonna convince me that what I'm saying is so rude or so unacceptable or so outrageous. It just simply isn't. It's $5. It doesn't cost you that much to sub.
Oh my god.
And it's very, very wonderful because it allows streamers to continue supporting their communities with content.
So we'll pause it one more time before we get into the final 1/3 of the video. The real
The real cherry on top of this just shit sandwich that she's making.
He ends it so well. It's crazy. You're not even ready for it. You're just like, wow, it's a lot of vitriol all of a sudden.
It's just like my jaw's already dropped at this point while I was watching, and I'm like,
Yeah, but it ends
like,
up showing you what she really thinks of her audience. I mean, clearly, that's the thing.
and herself, the narcissist that she is.
I'm not saying she's wrong about what I'm doing while I'm watching her. Frank knows.
Creator from a creator to a
Well,
creator.
somebody's got to touch this thing over here. It's only me now, so for now, anyways, we'll see what happens, I guess. But anyways, you know, okay. Well, Invader Vi, take it away.
That's all. Oh my, so here we have some excellent 300 IQ comments from the Peanut Gallery. This conversation sucks. This is weird. Yikes. These are exquisite contributions to a very good conversation. And these people in chat who are making these comments do not appear as immature, childish cheapskates whatsoever. They're just sitting here masturbating as hard as they possibly can, as quietly as they can, because their parents are in the next room talking about how disappointed they are in them. And they're like, why would I ever pay for this when this slut's giving it away for free? You're right, buddy, you're right.
Wow. And we don't need to see her respond. Apology, because it was pretty bunk shit.
So first she's talking shit on her audience about not being able to afford a $5 subscription. Then her audience, as they're commenting to her, she starts talking shit on them.
Well, she starts, but you know what? These fucking chicks. Oh my god! Like, listen, they're all
Mobile
bad.
popped over this wireless.
Bad. It's because when I'm logged into Way Off Topic and stuff, I'm not on my premium account. Because every time that happens, I'm like, why am I seeing an ad? I don't see ads anymore. And people use ad blockers. I don't use ad blockers because then the creators don't get paid. Although, unfortunately, I'm also paying flat earthers for watching their content. But
That's why I pay for YouTube Red. I don't have to watch ads, but
no, exactly. YouTube Red and Premium are the same thing. I think they have different names in different countries potentially, but either way, they it's the same thing. Yeah, you pay a monthly membership, you don't get ads, and then the creators get a little portion of your membership fee, basically. And I believe, we don't really know how it works, but I think it's like, if let's say it takes $5 of your membership fee and uses it for creators, and then you watch 100%. You just froze. Did I lose you? Frank froze solid. In the dumbest pose ever. Hold on, let's put that up. Aw, that's not Frank. Hold on, we gotta put it up while you still got it. I think we lost him. Let's see. Frank, you're frozen, bro. Like they're dark masked men taking my children, and I don't even know. Like, oh. My dog would be on it. Jesus Christ, that thing can hear a cricket outside. I'd be like, woof, woof, woof. What was that? What was that? Somebody shut a door 3 feet away, or 30 feet away, or 3 houses. Either way. Talking about you. Yep. Oh, it's just a sea of me. Well, he'll come back in. He'll ding dong back in. Ding dong. In the meanwhile, I get to talk about me and about how awesome I am at the end of the day. You know. Wish I had a coffee for this. I'm kind of parched. Brutal. Brutal McDoodle. Yeah, I don't. To be honest with you, Frank dragged me in tonight. Said, "Are we gonna podcast tonight?" I was like, I could just wallow in a pit of sorrow myself. Ah, there he is, Mr. Frankie. Paste. It's the same link, bro. Same link, bro. Oh, here he goes. It's the same link, bro.
I don't know
What happened to that
was.
sexy face? There, you should have seen how shitty your face was froze. You're like, pretty awesome. No, it was awesome. You had like one eye was like mostly closed, the other was like a little bit open, and you had the lighter, and you were like trying to like look at your smoke. I think
Yeah,
it was pretty epic. I left it up for a bit so people could see. It was good.
yeah, like, dude, I walked into like, there's this door at work that goes into the mechanical room.
Yeah.
And I have to, like, you know, slam my shoulder into it just to open it because nobody has a key, right? But it's got to stay shut. And I guess I didn't give it enough, and I went to slam my shoulder into it, and my shoulder kind of slipped this way, and I just head butted the damn door.
That happens.
So this right here, it's like half closed a little bit.
Man, I should add a button. Good point, eh? Touch portal. I should add a button to my thing here so I can switch between my meets window when I got you on here. I use a tablet to the way off topic audience. I had a very old tab that was obsolete, and I loaded a custom ROM, soft bricked it a few times, and basically, like watch this.
I wish I had a tablet.
My hard
Blah 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 blah. Shelly's been fabulous.
But yeah, it's awesome. You got your different scene windows and stuff, and it's how I can.
That's cool. You got your.
Well, and it's and you can go into like watch this. I can do like segments like.
Ooh, the sun.
Oh, that's my How Come Moon section. It's a whole bunch of shots of people shooting back and forth between the moon and the sun. How come the moon and the sun are at the same time? At the same time. It's actually one of my favorite segments. It's pretty awesome. That intro is awesome too. It's pretty amazing. I am pretty amazing. That's all I can say, I think I'm awesome.
Dude, this week has been awesome telescope viewing the moon nights, hasn't it? I don't know if you've been outside, but it's the closest the moon. The closest the full moon will be to the Earth.
Earth.
Are all Yeah, suck my balls. It's
What?
all you.
Hold on, keep talking.
No, well, I mean, I've been outside every night except for the one night it was raining. But I've been outside every night with my telescopy. Uh, at work with my telescope, checking out the moon. Pretty cool, man. A lot of detail on the moon.
I'm keeping my don't give a f attitude tonight by eating an ice cream sandwich while I podcast.
Fuck yeah, dude. Ooh, ice cream.
Oh my god, I know.
I'll be right back now.
Are you
talk about
serious?
something.
You son of a bitch. That's funny. He's going to get an ice cream sandwich. Well, Brainy Beaver at the helm again. Guess we got to find this clip.
Keep the stream going if you like the content, blah, blah, blah. How that results in 0 subs. There are regulars here. $5 a month.
Oh my god, that was terrible. Have you listen to this one? This one's like almost as bad in its own way.
How did my whole speech about how I need subs and to keep the stream going if you like the content, blah, 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 how that results in 0 subs. There are regulars here. $5 a month. How are you have hours of time to watch me and not $5? I don't know. What are you doing with your life where you have hours of time to watch Twitch and not $5 to provide for the content that you're watching? Because it's like people just really they really don't respect me as a content creator.
Well, this parasite's right about one thing.
As she wiggles her toes, they really don't respect me as a content creator. She wiggles her toes. You see her feet moving back and forth.
I was going to say that nobody gets paid to watch Twitch, so I don't understand her point.
That's the thing. Like, it's not well, and not only that, I say all the time when I'm doing the Brainy Beaver stuff that the reality is that the viewers are who make it possible for you to even have a channel that has notoriety. Why you would ever rip on your viewers for being faithful, regular viewers of your channel is ridiculous.
How many viewers has she lost or has she gained?
Shit. The other chick, though, I don't know about this one, but that Invader girl, she lost. Okay, so remember that a sub on what was it? I was gonna say Instagram for some reason. A sub on Twitch is like a membership on YouTube. So
okay,
and the follower on Twitch is like a subscriber on YouTube. So she lost like 70-something thousand followers, which is basically
good.
But I don't know how many how many subscribers she lost, which is again members, so paying subscribers. Just hammering our ice cream sandwiches while we podcast.
So this is the best.
There's a bunch of people. Well, I don't know how many people watch this, but there's people working there like, brutal.
I'm just saying, man. Yeah. Actually, my ice
trying
cream
to hold
sandwich.
back from my mic while I smack though.
My ice cream sandwich is a cookie sandwich.
Yeah.
Chocolate chip cookie ice cream sandwich. It's just the bestest.
Oh yeah. Good old fashioned, like highly processed white ice cream between like just a brown wafer or whatever the hell this thing is, like a fudgy cookie outside. Man, they're so good. Like it's like a childhood treat right here, right?
I mean, you got the tried and true.
I buy the tried and true, the cheapest shit.
Fuck yeah. You know, I gotta get all fancy with the chocolate chips and the cookie.
I don't care if they're sterilizing bird shit and then flavoring it and feeding it back to me, as long as it keeps tasting like this.
Dude, I mean, yeah. I hope it is, to be honest with you. All right, so what does this guy say about her?
I don't know.
I'm just wondering. I'm curious.
Lit Mobile popped over this
The problem is that's his content. Frank likes all these habits that get us in trouble.
Fair use. Stop, talk. Stop, talk.
Well, that is fair use.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
We have to stop, talk the shit out of it, though.
Respects her as a content creator. Now, I'm not going to mention this streamer by name because I'm pretty sure she loves negative publicity. She does fucked up shit all the time just to get her name out there. She subscribes to the idea that all publicity is good publicity, but fails to realize that when you as a person are your own brand and rely on people liking you for money, having a negative public image literally fucking ruins you.
Well, that's what I was basically saying there, is like, why you would ever beat your subs up for being faithful watchers of your channel? That's ridiculous. Hey, you pieces of shit, spend your money on me or get out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God.
I mean, being a podcaster, the whole getting paid for doing this thing is totally foreign to me anyway. So, you know. I mean, actually not. I guess I kind of do get paid to do this through any sports car podcast, which lets me do all the other podcasts for free, and I really don't care much. But yeah, so, but it's not like that indie sports car podcast like makes me like money like you know green money.
I don't see. I don't see glass walls behind you, Frank. I don't see an infinity pool back there. I see a pretty modest guitar room that you stuffed in the corner of your house.
No, it's not in the corner. It's an entire wall, son.
No, I'm joking about just you being relegated to like a little like this. There's his little room full of toys, just like all men.
Well, yeah. I am relegated to a lot of stuff, but my point being is, you know, the whole indie sports car podcast thing, we get paid like as far as like being media. So we get VIP parking in the infield. We get fed breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We get drinks. We get access everywhere we go, for all weekend. I mean, so basically, if you figure 12 races a year, if you add it all up, it comes up between the two of us. It comes up to about 50,000 a year. So, but that's not that's how much. Well, I mean, you can't even pay for the access we get. So if you were able to, let's just say, you know what I mean? Like I hyper inflated like all the prices for like all the packages you get. And it comes to about that, give or take maybe 10 grand negative or positive. And that's how much we make for the Indie Sports Car Pocket. So that being said, that's cool. But
I ADHD'd right out on you. I'm not gonna lie. I just was like in another planet. I heard something about 10,000 near the end.
My point being is the way I came up with the number, you can go 10,000 plus or minus because I averaged everything out.
That's still awesome.
I'm just saying because there is no like package plan that you can pay for to get what the access that we get.
I think Brainy Beaver made $500 last year. It was pretty profitable, That's after expenses. It actually made something like $1,000.
That's cool, man.
Something hundred. That's with the Patreons and different things like that involved. But, yeah, expenses because I got like a lot of my internet price could be contributed to. Like put to Brainy Beaver Financial basically, and then with my like meats, which I don't know if I need that anymore. Like, okay, so here's the thing: they made meats free for everybody. So then why am I paying for it now? Am I still paying for it? Or did Google just stop taking my money, or are they still taking my money and I'm paying for something that I should be free? I've got a lot of questions that need to be answered in the next month.
So meats is back then, is what you're saying?
Okay, so it never really went anywhere. It became like Google Hangouts meets.
Right.
Because Hangouts and like, for instance, like I still have the Hangouts app on my phone. I use it to talk to Fight the Flat Earth and shit.
Okay.
So like Hangouts never went anywhere. But then meanwhile, Hangouts on the computer, I think, did, because then it became Hangouts Meets. But then the thing is, okay, so a lot of us remember there was the free Hangouts and then there was Meets, and the reason they're identical, the only difference was that Meets was the one where you have to request entry. Like when you go to come in, it goes ding dong. Unless I've given you access already, it goes ding dong, and you have to say, "This is like Frank Linker's trying to get in," or Frank Links.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to be accepted into the call. So you can't just get like, if all of a sudden you accidentally, like if I'm in a stream and I accidentally show, I click in the spot that shows like the link, or the bar shows at the top showing the link to the Hangout, right, or the Meet. It's right at the top of our Meet. There's the address bar. So if you show that and somebody actually wrote that down into their thing and hit enter, they could just join your Hangout without any request, and then they can also boot other people because they're not the owner of the Hangout, or you're not the owner of the Hangout. It's just a Hangout with a bunch of people, so everybody's an admin essentially. So then they could just boot everybody out of the call and then play pornography on your channel.
Because isn't that what happened in the fight?
That's exactly what happened to fights. We think it was PMARS, but we don't know. We think he snuck in. He booted a bunch of people, and he boot. And what happens is your Meets is running, and your OBS is running, streaming what's on Meets and everything. And then they just put up display that once they kick everybody out, they can't be removed. So then they just quickly throw up porn they have or whatever, and you have to be extremely quick. Like you'd have to be. That's why I run a 15-second delay. Like if that happened to me, I could go over here, hit stop streaming, and I could hit discard delay, and it would take that 15-second delay, and it would just throw it in the trash. It never happened. So that's why some people are like, man, it's really delayed watching your stream over Uni's stream comparatively. I'm like, well, I'm running a 15-second delay. If I ever dox myself or something really shitty happens, I can just discard the delay.
Right.
People are like, what do you do in 15 seconds? I'm like, 15 seconds is a quarter of a fucking minute. When you really break it down, it's a decent amount of time. I mean, you're not going to erase history, but you're going to reset, like, if something shitty happened, you could just discard the delay and get rid of it. So if your wife comes in, you got to hit them really fast and then discard the delay. That's all.
Yeah, like Phoenix and I were talking about this the other day. You know how long 15 seconds of silence is in podcast world? It's, oh my God, did my app stop working? Let me check my phone.
It's like when I find out I've been talking on my Brainy Beaver, for a minute, and nobody's been hearing me because I accidentally muted myself to do something and never unmuted. And then it's like, holy shit, you've already lost like 10 people, out of 70 watching. They've already dropped away because they can't hear a thing you're saying. And if those are new people to the channel, those are potential subscribers that you'll never possibly ever get back.
People are so fucking impatient anymore.
Well, humans have always been that way. We just can quantify it now, I think.
Yeah, but it's a lot worse now than it ever has been.
Well, mental health is run wild right now. Like it's just mental health issues are at a maximum.
Not for nothing, but I think a lot of it has to do with the lead that our parents' generation, personally, I think like lead had a lot to do with it. You know what I mean? 'Cause, honestly, I think lead had a lot to do with it. Because like my generation, like I'd say anybody born from.
Give your evidence, Flatard. I'm just kidding. He's like, fuck, I'm not getting into it.
No, I'm saying, like, when do they stop using leaded gasoline?
I don't know. It was about time I was born, I think.
That's what I mean. Like, all these cars, running around burning lead fuel. Pumping.
Yeah, they figured out pretty quick it wasn't working well for the health of the human race.
Not technically, but my point being is the guy that came up with the whole lead thing.
The original reason, though. Go ahead, sorry.
No, the original reason was to help engines stop knocking.
By making the fuel heavier, right?
Yeah. It was a
Yeah, but there
by
was another. There was a
by adding lead to the fuel, it helped the engine uh not knock so hard, I guess.
That's so
Is
crazy because nowadays the cars just run totally different. It's all just like, oh, it senses a knock, dial timing back, adjust the fuel ratio. Like back then, it was just like, we should just change the fuel and make it like thicker. Like fucking.
well, yeah, because you'd always have the hood open with a little screwdriver and like, oh, it's a
Oh, that's the
left,
thing.
right,
You see
left,
somebody
right.
pulled over with a goddamn like 2018 BMW with the hood popped on the side of the road. What are you going to do? What unless the battery terminal is loose, you are fucked. You are fucking fucked.
It's so funny you said that, dude. Last weekend, last Sunday,
Oh my
right?
god, it makes me laugh
I'm
every
not-
time I look at them. I'm like, you better be
Bro.
checking the oil level. That's all you can do. That's
Bro,
it. Like,
last weekend, jumped in the car in the Kia, the 2018, right? Go to turn it on, nothing. I'm like,
well, that
oh,
could be a
no.
battery terminal, but yeah, exactly. And it was, it sounds like, yeah. They're not tight enough, they get corroded, and then all of a sudden you get a bad connection.
No, it wasn't corroded at all. It was just, it was a bolt and like this like triangle looking clamp,
Yeah.
and it just got loose, and it was the positive.
It happens.
And I
But
tightened it up, and it was
I've got a
good.
creak in my front right suspension where it's like, I don't know what it is. Is it just like a squeaky,
You got a creaky in your blinder? What?
creaky front end on my car? What would that be? I don't know cars very well. And when it rocks, you can feel it in the front right corner. You can hear it. It's like a.
It's called a strut.
Wait, do you think that's actually the strut? I'm just probably hearing the rubbers though, or something.
Do you oil your joints? Your
Not even a bit. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing there. I mean,
Do you
the
know
other
what I'm
thing is
talking
the car sat for a long time too, and it wasn't getting driven enough because I didn't have the money for tires and.
So like if it's going like this, it's like
Well, when you start, well, it's not. No, it's not. It's not bouncing. It's when I accelerate and brake. So it's anytime I have the front end rock. You can even push on the front end and go make it go. You can hear it. It feels like it's suspension related.
Yeah,
Front.
you need two front shocks.
But what would be causing that? The shock being broken? The shock's not gonna be broken. How do you? Oh, yeah, but that's the shock. That's the shock grinding. You think and like being broken?
No, that's the hydraulic fluid in the shock separating.
That sound?
Yeah, because that sound is the spring.
That's why I can't find where it is. Right? I mean, it's so hard to locate that sound. It's just a sound coming out of my suspension.
Right. Well, my point is like, the shock goes inside the spring, right?
Yeah, of course.
Well, because the shock doesn't have all that back tension to it because the hydraulic fluid separates, so it just kind of, you know what I mean, goes down.
Yeah, but
There's
it sounds
no
more like a creak. I'm not getting a bounce. I'm not getting that. It's not that I have a bounce, like or anything like that. I'm getting just a creak in the front end. Like it's.
That's because those springs are really, high tension springs. So, you know what I mean, like shock or no shock, it's still going to feel, pretty good, but the shock is what keeps it from really like, that is rust.
Probably needs a suspension job eventually. Fuck.
I mean,
it's an old car. It's not young. That one.
Plus, the shocks are about the easiest things to replace and cheapest anyway. So that's what I would do first and see what happens.
I'll ask the mechanic to look at it and see what they think.
I haven't brought my car to a mechanic in so damn long. I just do it all myself.
I don't fuck around with my car. My car is beautiful.
Oh, I mean, that's the one, drawback to, working on cars my entire life with my dad every weekend. I would see him every weekend, and all we do is work on cars. And I fucking hated it. Hated every second of it. But then, he goes and himself, and I end up with all of his fucking tools.
What a lovely
that
story.
I know, and all of his tools I know how to use because I had to learn how to use them.
Anymore because I'm just like a single guy now. I'm like that single dad with all jaded.
It'll get better. So,
Ah,
yeah,
fuck. I mean, I saw a pretty cute woman with a kid with no ring on her finger today, so don't get me wrong. There's people out there who want to get banged. Just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not that far yet. She hasn't told me no yet, goddammit. I'm here. I've got the medication in me. I'm seeing a therapist. I mean, if I'm not fucking trying at this point, I don't know what trying is.
so what's the biggest okay, so since you've been diagnosed with the ADHD, you've got the meds, you got the therapy, what's the biggest change in your life that you've noticed that you realized was a problem that you never did before?
Well, I realized the other things were a problem. The difference is it's not. It's the problem is with ADHD is you have the part of your brain that prioritizes things and puts them in order of what's important now and what's important later doesn't work. So
No, I know, but my point is like with me personally, like there's things that I didn't realize that were a problem until I got the meds and got my shit straight, more focus and everything, that I realized
but I didn't realize
that
lots of things were a problem because she wasn't being honest with me, but that was partly because of the way I took
no,
criticism.
I'm not talking about other people saying it to you. I'm talking about you yourself noticing that nobody else would have noticed.
I mean, it's just things like not being such an arduous task to do something like the dishes. I mean, the dishes was just like an insurmountable mountain that you had to climb at some point. And you could be sitting there on your phone. Well, first of all, I'm not on my phone all the time. I used to be on my phone like no matter what, even if I was with my kids. I'd be yeah, but yeah, even if I was with my kids, it would be
no, I was doing that because the watch has made me stop grabbing my phone by like 90%.
Oh, well, I got a hang in my throat here. 1 second. No, God damn, I got like a frog sitting in my throat all of a sudden. It's like, no, just cry it out, Brainy. Cry it. No. There we go. Got some COVID. I was at the zoo all day today. Picked up some of the COVID here. No, I got a cloth right here. Good. Anyways, I mean, dishes. Dishes were an insurmountable task. So, like, one of the things is, like, she complained about me not helping with dishes enough before and stuff like that. And, when we had a problem in the fall and she expressed some issues and I got better for a while, but then I guess I slid back, which is pretty telltale of ADHD, symptomatic. Like, you can do cognitive brain, for instance, like studies I watched said that you could do cognitive brain therapy, for instance, and like change their behaviors. All of a sudden I got this hang. But you could change their behaviors and then there it is. And then they would slide back over the next 8, 9, 10, 12 months. It was only when they added medication and the brain therapy, like the cognitive behavioral therapy, that they were able to make lasting changes that didn't slide back. So the thing is, like,
I'm sorry.
well, I was gonna finish by saying is that, so like, one of the big things is that like she would ask about helping with dishes, and in the past, I guess I would do them for a while and then it would slide back. But I mean, now it just doesn't feel like when I see a dish, it doesn't feel like such a, like, it's so easy before to be able to be like, I can do that later. Well, later never comes. She ends up doing it. I forget about it. Whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you just never do it. You're just signing up to not do it. You're just saying, I won't do this. So the big difference is now, I see a dish or I see things that need to be cleaned up, and my brain just triggers a lot quicker to say, like, pick that up while you're going by it. Like, even something on the stairs that you might have walked by, left a piece of garbage you might have walked by before and not given a shit about. All of a sudden you'll stop and you'll like bend over and pick it up, and it's easier to concentrate on being around my kids and enjoying the time and being more attentive to their needs and just enjoying being around them and being with them. Everybody has different levels of ADHD, right? I mean, the thing is, I had a lot of information coming into my head, is what I'm realizing now. And I didn't realize it because you're just in it. You just don't know what's normal.
I'm just asking, do you have OCD?
I don't believe so. I mean, everybody has a little bit of OCD tendencies, right?
Of course.
I mean, I have
But
a
I mean,
tendency to want to be in control of situations and whatnot, but that, I mean, being a bit of a controlling, a bit, not like controlling so much as being, a bit of a control freak isn't exactly uncommon for people with ADHD either.
are you kidding? I
Yeah.
am, I am Sir Control Freak.
Well, but it's because of our desire to not, we don't like not knowing, and it's not out of like a Snoopy desire. It's more of a, we just like being in control of our world, and
Because we're so not in control of our world.
because we're so not in control of our world, exactly. And so we really like to be in control of the only things that we have control over, which is like, please don't touch that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, please don't touch that. No, I'm working on that. Please don't touch that. That's my thing. You can do this thing. Or like, I just don't want to think about you touching that right now because it's an extra.
It's so minuscule too.
It's nothing. It's things like my kid. No, but it's even stupid things like things I've noticed or things like my kid when he's whacking at something. And or outside with a stick and he's doing something and I'm like, before I'd be like, hey, Connor, stop that. It's annoying me. But now, I've done that and I've been like, it's annoying me. It's been, and then I've been like, why is it annoying you? Like, that makes no sense that it's annoying you. He's doing nothing. It's not hurting anything. He's making some noise. He's being a kid. We're outside. This is where you do that. So like, it's me being just like a freak basically at that point. And so now I'm catching these little moments where, and I'm going like, it doesn't matter. Like what he's doing doesn't matter. Or even like, Dad, do you mind if I do this? And in the past, I'd be like, no. Like even Tarkov, he was like, can I watch you? And I was like, no, buddy, no, this is my moment to play or whatever. I've been with you guys for 2-3 days here. I wanted to play Tarkov for a couple minutes while you were watching something on the cartoons on the TV there. But then I'm like, whatever, stay here. Like, what is it? It's war stuff. So what? What's he gonna see that he doesn't see on TV already and stuff? You know what I mean? Like,
and it's not about him wanting to watch you play the game. It's just about him wanting to be in the same room as you.
it's about him just wanting to spend time with me, exactly, and be interested in what Daddy's doing and stuff. So, no, exactly. So I'm like, come over, come on over. You can watch for a minute. I mean, the only part where he said, "Can I sit on your lap while you play?" And I'm like, well, that kind of makes it a little hard to play. He's like, "Can I sit on your lap until it loads?" And I'm like, "Absolutely." And he'd jump on my lap or whatever. But like, I would just create such a hard.
No, right?
What?
But before you'd be like, no.
Yeah, it just creates such a hard separation between me and him when I was trying to do that because I just wanted to have full control over what was going on, is even just in like my peripherals, frankly, almost. Like I just didn't want to have to worry about the other person, right?
Yeah, dude.
So, yeah.
I highly, I don't know if you know what these things are. You ever see these?
Not really.
Little box. It's got like, one's got like a thumb thing, the other one's got like a wheel, the other one's got a switch, the other one's got like a ball bearing with some dials. These are little buttons, dude. I don't know what it's called. It's like a fidget block or something, but for people like us that always have to be doing something,
Yeah, you're shaking
right?
your feet around, you're always moving.
Dude, like I always have one of these. Like I have like 8 of them. There's one in like every car, there's one in every room. Like I always have to have one in my hand like constantly, and it's helped me so much, dude. Like it just helped me like concentrate. Like say like I have a thought in my head, you know what I mean? So like, like I'll start flipping the switch back and forth like this,
The thing that really kind of irritates me now though is that like, my wife and I hope that I can, maybe she can give me another chance here to show her how I can be proper, like, because, we got along great, and I wonder how great it could be if I was on the meds and everything else was working properly, right? So, I don't even remember what I was going to say, but I think it was along the lines of,
basically what I asked is, what was the main thing that you noticed that nobody else did, that only you did, that has changed for the better?
but it's all that stuff. It's just the dishes not being insurmountable, and it's just, You see a dish, you get it done. You see a mess, it's not as big of a deal to, you
I'm
can
kind
walk
of
by the kitty litter.
You know what I mean?
It's hard to
I'm not
explain that
saying
because everybody just thinks it's laziness. They think it's just willpower. Like you just gotta get concentrate and think. It just doesn't work like that. You easily put things away, way easier than somebody else, where they would think, "Oh fuck, I better do that now because otherwise in the morning, blah 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 or whatever." It's so much easier for you just to say, "Fucking this is stressful. This is too difficult for my mind. I'm just gonna put it in this pile and not think about it." And you only think about it when it becomes an emergency. So everything in your life is rush, 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 always being in a fucking emergency, of never having things done in advance or planning effectively, and it just
And I'm
permeates
always
into
late.
everything that happens to you.
Yep, and I'm always fucking late because it's always
Always late, exactly. Yep.
yeah, man. And and I never want to be late. It's always like I remember you know, it was just 2 days ago, dude. You know, even though you're on the meds, it doesn't mean you're cured. You know, it just means you have a better grasp on it than what you used to.
Well, I have a way
Because
better grasp on how my behaviors are affecting my wife. I mean, that's one thing. I
yeah,
mean, I can
yeah,
appreciate, but it's funny.
well,
It's things like getting into an argument with somebody and being able to appreciate their end of the argument a lot quicker. I mean, stupid things like that. Like you'd think that would be normal, but it's not. It doesn't function like that for us. It's fucking fucked. It just doesn't work like that.
like the thing, I couldn't tell you the last time Missy and I gotten into an argument or a fight. I can't remember.
I couldn't tell you either because she wasn't telling me things that were bothering her. See, there was a breakdown in communication. Anyways, this isn't supposed to be the Brainy Beaver
Anyway,
support network
so
hour, but you know.
no, we talking about whatever we want here. But my point being is, 2 days ago, she had asked me to go get her Sprite out in the car. I said, sure, no problem. And that's about a total of 15 steps out the front of my door, down my stairs to the car, right? Within that amount of time, I totally forgot, went to the basement, and started wiring up my guitar.
That's fucking ADHD right there. And if you don't understand what's happening, so then your wife goes, "What the fuck? You know, I asked you to get me a Sprite, and here you." So it looks like selfishness. Like you completely forgot about what they asked for, and you just decided to do your own thing.
It went gone.
Yep, just like fucking snap your fingers and it vanishes. Just like the way I can lose a sentence all of a sudden and just to have it disappear like it never even existed. Like the thought was just never there. Which normal people have too, but we just have it a lot more often. The thought just fires out of our brain. It just vanishes. And then it could come back. I'll be sitting at my computer 30 minutes after a live stream and go, fuck, I never fucking mentioned that in the end. Or I had this whole thing I was going to show and I never did it. Because it's just things that pop into my mind, they can pop out just as quick.
And then she'll text me, I guess my Sprite wasn't out in the car. And I went, fuck.
Yeah, that's the same thing. You'll get a Sprite saying, hey, you're supposed to turn on fucking Paw Patrol on the TV for me. Yeah, fucking, shit. Then you run over and do it because all it took was one fucking thing to go wrong and you completely forgot about what you were trying to do for her. And the thing is, we didn't understand. She didn't know I was dealing with this. I didn't know I was dealing with it like to that level. My parents didn't quite know it was like that, and so we've all watched some stuff, and there's a lot more realization going on. But the only problem is, my wife's in a pretty raw state where she's not very happy with me, So, I'm trying to see if we can get through that point and move to the next stage, which is hopefully going out and having fun and seeing if we can start from there again. But see what happens, That's what is. I'm not gonna turn this into a cry fest. I've had my fun with that. It's whatever. I get to see her tomorrow when she picks up the kids. Then I'll have my fucking hour of crying afterwards.
Yo, you should meet her in the nude.
Meet her in the what?
The nude.
Right. Yeah. Do the what is it? What is it they call it? Just the naked man.
I don't know what they call it.
I think they did that on TV. It's a naked man. Anyways, we're at 1 hour and 43 minutes. I guess we could start to wrap it up pretty soon. I'm yawning. I'm starting to yawn here a little bit.
Well, I got permission from my buddy Cukester to always play one of his one of his episodes to help him out because he wants to he turned YouTube into his full-time job, and he was on the podcast with me. I think it was like a month ago. It was like
Which
a
one?
quick.
Like the way
It,
off?
it,
Oh, you
wa-
did a way off? That's
yeah, it was a way off. It was like 12 o'clock in the afternoon on a
fine, fuck
Sunday. It was
you,
like
then I don't want to come. I'm just kidding.
no. It was you
How many
had the
subs has
heart.
he got?
I think he's got 300,000.
So when am I gonna get to meet him now? Jesus Christ.
And then dude, he had a blast, and he wants to come back on. He just lives in Ireland, so we just need to, we need to
I should
like,
get him on Brainy Beaver is what I should do too. That'd be fun.
yeah, dude, he's an awesome dude, and he's funny as shit. And he said I can always end a way off topic radio with one of his, oh, good job there. I can always end a way off topic radio with one of his videos, as long as I give him the credit, which I'm more than happy to do. And he's gonna come on again, and maybe we'll set it up for next week, like maybe like next Sunday, like around 12 or 1, which is good for him because he's over in Ireland.
Well, Sundays won't work for me almost ever at this point because I got my kids, but we'll figure something out.
Okay, well, we can always do it during the week too. You know what I mean?
Figure it out.
Or
If my wife starts coming around, you never know. Might be able to have her come by and take care of the kids for a while, but we'll see how that all starts evolving. So
I'm sure there's an hour sometime during the week or weekend we can figure something out
We'll
in the
figure it
near
out.
future.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. But at any rate, I'm gonna share
yeah,
the
share your
screen. Here, present now, right?
Yep.
Okay. And anyway, it's Qxir. It used to be pronounced QXIR on YouTube, and on Twitter it's well, just go to his Qxir YouTube channel, and it's on there as well. I think it's Qxir YT, something like that. Anyway, so my entire screen, and I believe you'll hear my audio because of the mixer, Scott. Just let me know if you don't. Wait a minute, why is it not sharing? Wait, Chrome wants to share the content of your screen with. Choose what you like to share. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, so share. Okay, there we go. Now I'm presenting. Do you see me?
Well, I can see your presentation window. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what the heck that was. But okay.
Oh, you can.
Oh.
I thought I muted. Sorry. Holy shit! I thought I muted. You guys can hear me like scraping my heel. Well, sorry about that.
Okay.
He's like, what the fuck is that noise?
What is that noise?
I have like a fucking petty, one of these Alma petty things. They work really good, except not when you're like blasting them into a goddamn podcast. See, I had it muted, but that's why when I'm like, yeah, and then you're like, okay, and I'm like, oh, I'm not fucking muted. It's
awesome.
late. I'm tired. Holy shit.
What is it? It's only 2.
Only 2. I gotta get the fuck up. My kids blast into my room at 6:45 a.m. You bitch. Wait until you figure it out.
Dude, I'm gonna love it. I can't wait.
Yeah, well,
Really can't. I'm gonna be a great dad.
I'm a great dad too. I just was a great partner. I'm not a lousy partner with my ADHD roaring. Fuck. Great husband, great dad, lousy partner. Awesome. I wish she'd give me another chance at that because that was all just fucking up top.
She will. Just be positive.
Oh, fuck, you don't know that, but I love your positivity. Let's just go from there and we'll build upon it. I mean it seriously. I mean it. I'm taking it. I'm running with it. Got it. Positivity. I don't fucking believe it, but positivity.
Positivity will get you places.
It'll get me into somebody else's. I'm just kidding. I guess we'll see what she decides. I'm not in a hurry. I mean, if I can get her back, I'll wait. I don't care.
So basically, he has this thing called "Tales from the Bottle" is one of his playlists, and to your request, he went up. It's 428,000 subscribers.
Shit.
Sorry, that's 428,000 views, not
I'm
subscribers.
gonna close my eyes. Don't worry about me. Keep talking.
No problem. I'm just trying to see how many. 194,000. So that's come to 200,000. This podcast will not, but we might get them to 24.
This podcast will not. Oh, that's funny.
If this is too loud, just let me know, Scott. All right.
I can mix it.
All right. So, I played the worst Olympic event in history, Tales from the Bottle, the last time. That was hysterical. I don't know how many people have heard that, but I don't think you heard it, Scott. Have you?
I don't know.
Basically, if I were to tell you that the 1904 300-meter run was hysterically like insane, you wouldn't believe me probably.
Well, 1904, I might.
Okay, so I played it the last
Anything
time.
will go wrong back in 1904.
You know what? I'm gonna do it again because I'm gonna start fresh because the last time because I had my new co-host from Twilight Zone Review, LIW the TZ Review. We have a third mic on there, Adam Wilcox from Raiders of the Lost Flicks. So he was on a week or so ago, back when Dead Kennedys in Space blocked me because I guess I forgot that he's not in my same time zone. Sorry, I don't know where Nova Scotia is on a map. My bad.
Kennedy?
Yeah.
He blocked you? What?
Yeah, he blocked me.
Why?
I guess because he's not in my same time zone. I'm gonna guess. I don't know.
I
He
don't
wouldn't tell me.
understand. Didn't we have him on even?
Yeah, no, he was supposed to come on. I'll talk to you about it after we're done this. But anyway,
You
if
actually think he blocked you because of time zones?
I'm guessing. I don't know for sure.
Maybe you got swept up in all the people getting blocked because of him for doing the whole like Unirock.
No,
thing.
it was pretty like. Trust me, I'm pretty sure he blocked me because I wasn't on when he was because he thought we were starting. I don't know. It's deep, convoluted. Trust me, it's.
But wait,
it's too deep.
make it sound like he sent you a message. Just tell me what he said. Just do it.
He didn't send me a message before he blocked me. He just blocked me.
But why would you block somebody just because you're he was getting messages from you in the middle of the night, or what are you trying to say?
No. That's what I mean. Like, that's all I'm trying to say is he blocked me because I'm pretty sure he's in a different time zone than me and I didn't realize it.
Well, I doubt it. I don't think he is. I think he's in the same time zone as you, actually, Frank.
I thought so too. Okay. But when I tell him, yo, does 10 or 11 work for you? And he said, yeah, anytime works for me. I said, okay, we'll do it at 11. And then at 9:30, he sends me a DM saying I'm on, which doesn't make any sense. And I didn't see it because it's a DM on Twitter. It's not like I cannot have notifications on my Twitter. Otherwise, my phone will just shut off. All right, because I have too many Twitters.
Okay.
So my point being is, 11 o'clock came around, and I seen, yo, I'm on, and then I'm blocked, and then I have a few other Twitters, so I went to him another Twitter account, like, yo, man, I think you blocked me. I can't DM you on the way off topic thing. What's up? And then he blocked that account. Then I went another account. I'm like, why do you keep blocking me? What did I do? He blocked that account. I'm like, whatever, dude. I don't care. I don't know you. I don't.
What a bitch. Honestly, I've kind of lost a little bit of respect for him, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's like I don't care. You can keep blocking me, man. I just wanted to know why. To be honest,
all you had to do is say I don't want to do the interview. I mean, fucking, or do the thing. It's such a child move. It's so weird.
Yeah,
he's a weird guy.
Yeah, and it was just like, dude, fuck you then. I don't care. You're not hurting my feelings dead Kennedys in space. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Keep making your gay Kerbal fucking videos. I don't care.
I don't
And
understand how he keeps growing at the rate he grows at, because he keeps ahead of me still. And no, mind you, I know why I don't grow at the rate I should be growing at. It's because I wasn't releasing any goddamn content. So, got to fix that problem first if I want to grow. So I'm working on that. So
I mean,
my kids are going to be
his
picked up tomorrow. I have them for an extra day today because she asked if I wanted to keep them.
I mean, honestly, his Riley paper is what made me notice him, because I think he did a really good job doing it.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, I didn't
Yeah.
really.
I mean, yeah, but that was
See,
it.
the problem is he hurts his channel by doing these. He does, like, he does these great Riley video, and then he gets some good success afterwards with, these critical analysis style videos that he does, right? But then he'll follow it with the goddamn, like, video where he talks about, like, some scene out of a movie. Like
Yeah, I
some
did.
sci-fi movie, and every time he does that, you can see it in his analytics. It's like he gets like bangers. He's like he's destroying my numbers. He gets like double what I'm getting, and then all of a sudden he puts out these fucking videos that gets like 500 views. And he does them 3 or 4 in a row even sometimes. And man, that is so devastating your channel to do that to it. Just stop doing those content. You're almost better off doing no content than posting that kind of content, because your audience is telling you right there they fucking hate it.
Yeah, and it's just like, if you want to do different content, then start another channel for it. Like that. Like, there's this guy David Land, right?
Yeah.
He's a really good dude. He does he calls himself an IndyCar YouTuber, but he's not. He does all different types of motorsports. He plays video games of, like, NASCAR 2003 from Sega Genesis or something. And it's just like, dude, IndyCar will never give
2003
you.
Sega Genesis. That's like mid '90s Sega Genesis, dude.
You know what I mean, though? Like, old as shit.
It's like PlayStation 2 is like 2000, and like Xboxes and stuff are in the O's.
That's what I mean. He's doing GameCube NASCAR '98 or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, gotcha.
But my point being is, like, dude, IndyCar will never give you media credentials. If you're playing NASCAR video games on the channel you want your media credentials based off of. I'm sorry.
Oh,
like,
yeah, of course. No, of course. It's just like video gaming content.
But I bring so much content to the sport. I'm like, yeah, and you're a charlatan, dude. You're always the guy that has the opposite view of the masses. You're always, like, bringing up the controversial shit and then going against the grain and giving some ridiculous, albeit, I mean, I admit, pretty well thought out reason why, but it's still bullshit. You know what I mean? And I tried to explain this to him one time. He didn't want to hear it, but I'm like, all right, dude, well, have fun in the stands, doing your reporting from, section 215 while I'm watching it in the media center. Just saying. You know why? Because my podcast is nothing but IndyCar. Nothing more, nothing less. What do we have on every week? Drivers. Who's our third? Me and Missy, we're both media. And who's my third mic? A journalist from the media center. You see what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
Like, or start another channel that's directly for IndyCar. And if you kept it just that, I guarantee you'd get your media credentials, David. But no, let's go on a IndyCar fucking tirade for 3 weeks about how much they're pieces of shit, because I'm really sure that really helped your cause, you dummy. So whatever. So I don't know how we got there, but anyway, so Cukester. Scott, I had fun. Till next week, buddy. But here's Cukester, and this is what I mean by this dude is funny. He's from Ireland, which you'll be able to understand from his voice, and it's called Tales from the Bottle. So enjoy.
Today I would like to share with you a tale I first stumbled across on Wikipedia. To this day, it is the best thing I've ever read on Wikipedia. I'm talking about the 1904 Summer Olympics men's marathon. You might think that that sounds pretty boring, but you'd be wrong. The whole event turned out to be hilariously bizarre. It was a total disaster, a complete catastrophe, clusterfucking shit show, an omelette fromage. Imagine the scene. It's the afternoon in St. Louis. Temperatures a scorching 32 degrees Celsius. That's 90 degrees Fahrenheit for those with poor choice in units of measurement. The course for the race is laid out on dusty country roads. Cars hosting race officials are kicking up dust clouds all along the track. More on this later. The only source of water was a well at the 11-mile mark. Yet the organisers of this event couldn't tell their arse from their elbow. You can probably already see some potential problems. Out of the 32 athletes that competed, only 14 managed to finish the race. That's less than half. What were they doing? Frenchman Albert Corey arrived without the correct documents, so he wasn't even allowed to compete for France. Gobshite. For some reason, they let him compete anyway. Strange. He ran for the US. What? He won silver for them. What? What kind of fucking Mickey Mouse setup is this? Imagine Usain Bolt just showed up to a race and he said, fuck it, I'll race for Ireland. Usain Bolt, if you're listening to this, please actually do that. We'd like to win too. Another competitor, Fred Lors, had to just drop out from the race after about 9 miles due to the poor conditions. He hitched a ride in one of the officials' cars back to the stadium. The car broke down because, of course, it did. Lors got out of the car. Keep in mind, he had just taken it for 10 miles and then proceeded to re-enter the race. Obviously, he crossed the finish line first, the cheeky bastard. He had his picture taken with Alice Roosevelt, daughter of then-President Theodore Roosevelt, and he was just about to be awarded the gold medal when someone ratted him out. Lors claimed he was only joking, and the AAU took this in good humour and responded by immediately banning him for life. The marathon included the first 2 black Africans to compete in the Olympics, a move that white people would later come to regret. While in reality there were just 2 students from South Africa, they were portrayed as 2 savage tribesmen brought over as part of a Boer War exhibit. 1904. Yamasani finished in 12th place and Len Tao finished in 9th. This was regarded as a disappointment, as many observers were sure Len Tao could have done better if he had not been chased nearly a mile off course by aggressive dogs. A Cuban postman nearly missed the entire thing. Entering at just the last second, Anderon Carvajal had lost all of his money in New Orleans and he had to hitchhike all the way to St. Louis. So great, a fucking hobo entered the race. He had to race in his street clothes and he just cut holes in his trousers to make them look like shorts. He was doing well in the race, but he hadn't eaten in over 40 hours, the poor man. And he was so hungry, he had to stop at an orchard during the race to eat some apples. The apples turned out to be rotting from the inside, and he fell violently ill. He still managed to finish in 4th place, the absolute madman. William Garcia was another competitor to suffer illness during the race. He was found almost dead, lying on the road with severe internal injuries from breathing in the clouds of dust from the race officials' cars. A man almost died. So far we've had a Frenchman competing as an American man, a cheating fucker who almost got away with it, a pack of feral dogs, a penniless postman hobo, and a near fatality. Who won this race? That would be Thomas Hicks, although calling him a winner is probably being more than a bit liberal with the term. Hicks wanted to stop during the race due to the exhausting conditions. Who could blame him? He was physically restrained by his trainers from lying down and having a rest, which I'm fairly sure that's against the rules by today's standards. To keep Hicks competing, they hatched the genius plan to dope him up, which is, that's definitely against the rules by today's standards. So what sort of drugs did they give him? Well, rat poison, of course they gave him rat poison. They probably could have done...
They gave his ass rat poison. Yo, you awake? Scott's out. It's still funny. I don't care.
On with learning the difference between performance enhancing drugs and lethal toxins. That's a schoolboy error. Those things are worlds apart. They're pretty much opposites, actually. Anyway, Brooks continued with the race, and by the time he reached the finish line, he was barely able to walk, and he was hallucinating. He was tripping balls. His support team literally carried him over the line while he shuffled his feet in the air as if still running. He was awarded gold. He would have died had he not been immediately seen to by several doctors, and Thomas Hicks never raced again.
Awesome. Well, here, unpresent.
All right, I'm going to be honest. I picked the topic of this video purely for.
Okay.
I'm
So
melting in my chair, so we gotta end this quick.
yeah, unpresent. Hold on. So the guy who won, his trainers picked him up, and he just kicked his feet in the air as they ran him across the finish line, so he could win gold.
That's awesome. You're still presenting, first of all.
I know. No, I'm not.
All right, let's end this because I'm honestly falling asleep. I'm starting to lose it.
Yeah, well,
Kids starting to fuss too, so I might have to go tuck my kids in better.
well, I just want to say, it's always a pleasure, Scott. 2 hours is a rare podcast, actually, buddy.
Yeah, it's a long time. I'm tired. Woo. I had the kids at the zoo and everything. I'm destroyed.
But that was one of his first ever videos, actually.
Awesome.
It's Tales from the Bottle. So it's QXIR, Cuxer. I still haven't put his podcast up that we did because I suck at editing and putting. Yeah, I really need to get on that. Anyway, so I like I always do. I play a song at the end, but Scott,
do that post for if you don't mind on your end or whatever, or do it on your end there. I'm gonna turn off the live stream. I got a kid that's starting to whine in the baby monitor here, so it's good timing.
Right on, buddy. Well, plugs.
Brainy Beaver. Check me out on Brainy Beaver, and then this is Way Off Topic Radio, and I got my Brainy Beaver games where we've been murdering on Tarkov and things. It's fun. Been having fun.
Yep.
Gonna try to get better schedule going on so I can get releasing stuff on Brainy a little bit more regular. Then you never know. Maybe it's a career that I could have in the future, right? Who knows?
Yeah, you never know. And and hopefully Scott will plug the podcast one of these days.
When I said Way Off Topic Radio, didn't I? Oh, when I'm on there, yeah, I will. Don't worry, it'll happen. So, that's pretty flatlined right now, anyways, as far as views. I've got to work on that on its own too to kind of get it going again. It's got the ball. I slowed the ball down by not posting enough. Now I got to get that bitch rolling again. So I got to get on it.
Well, if you ever want some help, just by brainstorming some stuff up, man. I'm a good muse.
Sounds good. Yeah, we'll talk. You know how to get me right on my phone, man.
Yeah, definitely, dude. And we should watch some some Banshee or something.
We'll figure something out. I don't have a lot of time these days. I'll figure something in my schedule. You know how it goes. Like as it is, like I'm exhausted now from a day with the kids, and they're gonna be pouncing into my room in 6 hours.
Well, right on. So, again, Scott.
Yeah. Have a good night. Thanks for having me, as always.
And thanks for coming on, everybody. And here's your song to go out with. Don't know what it's going to be, but you're about to find out. And thanks for joining another podcast.